delivers. Brock Lesnar, F5 through the table. And
6 F5s. 1 broken announce table. And somehow, Oba Femi still refused to stay down. That's the story everybody is talking about after WWE Clash in Italy. Because what we witnessed inside the NLP arena wasn't just another premium live event match. It was WWE putting 2 of the most physically dominant athletes in the entire industry on a collision course and asking one simple question. Who is the true monster of this generation? I've got to be honest, when this feud first started, I wasn't sure WWE could make the rematch feel bigger than their WrestleMania encounter. After all, Oba Femi already shocked the world by defeating Brock Lesnar on the grandest stage of them all. That victory wasn't supposed to happen. For years, WWE conditioned fans to believe that Brock Lesnar was the final boss. He was the guy who destroyed legends, ended streaks, and walked through entire rosters like they were nothing. Then along came Oba Femi, a rising powerhouse who managed to accomplish something very few men in WWE history have done. He beat the Beast. What's fascinating is what happened afterward. For a brief moment, it looked like Brock Lesnar's career was finished. WWE even moved him into the Forever section of the company intro package, a move many fans interpreted as a symbolic retirement. That's why his return generated such an enormous reaction. Nobody expected it. Nobody thought we'd see him back so soon. And when it became clear that Oba Femi would be standing across the ring from him again, the entire dynamic changed. This wasn't about proving that Oba Femi belonged anymore. This was about whether Brock Lesnar could accept the fact that someone had surpassed him. And from the opening bell, it was obvious that Lesnar wasn't interested in wrestling a traditional match. He came out like a man possessed. The moment the bell rang, Brock Lesnar charged forward and absolutely steamrolled Oba Femi. No feeling out process. No technical exchanges. No pacing. Just pure destruction. 2 F5s almost immediately. Then a third. Think about that for a second. Most WWE superstars never kick out of 1 F5. Entire championship reigns have ended because of a single F5. Yet here was Oba Femi absorbing 3 of them within moments and somehow continuing to fight. That's where this match became incredibly interesting from a storytelling perspective. I've seen some fans criticize WWE for having wrestlers survive too many finishes, but I actually think it worked perfectly here. WWE wasn't trying to tell us that Oba Femi is a normal superstar. They're trying to establish him as a generational force. Every kickout wasn't just a near fall. It was a statement. The company was effectively telling viewers that Oba Femi exists in a different category. But at the same time, WWE also protected Brock Lesnar. Notice how the match wasn't structured around Oba Femi dominating. Instead, Lesnar spent most of the contest looking like the more dangerous competitor. He repeatedly overwhelmed Femi. He repeatedly landed his biggest offense. He repeatedly pushed the pace. That's smart booking. One of the hardest things WWE can do is create a match where both competitors emerge stronger than before. Too often, one wrestler gains momentum while the other loses credibility. Here, WWE managed to elevate both men simultaneously. When Lesnar locked in the Kimura Lock, the match shifted gears entirely. This wasn't just brute force anymore. This was the former UFC heavyweight champion reminding everyone why he's one of the most feared combat athletes ever to step into a WWE ring. What made the sequence great was how Oba Femi escaped. He didn't out-wrestle Lesnar. He didn't counter with technical brilliance. He literally powered his way out. That detail matters. WWE understands what makes Oba Femi special. His character isn't built around submissions or technical mastery. He's built around impossible strength. Every major moment in this match reinforced that identity. Then came another F5. And another kickout. At that point, you could feel the frustration building inside Brock Lesnar. That's something I loved about the storytelling. For years, we've watched opponents become frustrated against Lesnar. This time, the roles were reversed. The Beast was the one questioning what it would take to keep his opponent down. The Beast was the one getting desperate. The Beast was the one beginning to doubt himself. That's compelling character progression. Because underneath all the suplexes and finishes, this match was really about Brock Lesnar's wounded pride. He lost at WrestleMania. He disappeared. People started talking about retirement. Then a younger monster emerged and began occupying the exact spot Lesnar once held. That's not something a competitor like Brock Lesnar would ever accept. The ringside brawl elevated things even further. When the action spilled outside and the Italian crowd started chanting Suplex City, you could feel the atmosphere changing. The fans understood they were watching two human wrecking balls. Then came one of the biggest visual moments of the entire event. The F5 through the announce table. That spot looked devastating. And once again, WWE used it to reinforce both characters. Lesnar looked unstoppable. Oba Femi looked indestructible. That's a difficult balance to achieve. What impressed me most was the crowd reaction afterward. The audience never stopped believing that either man could win. That's the sign of a well-constructed match. Too often, premium live event matches become predictable. This one never felt predictable. Even when Lesnar appeared dominant, Oba Femi remained dangerous. Even when Oba Femi mounted a comeback, Lesnar still felt like a threat. The final stretch was especially effective. After surviving everything Lesnar threw at him, Oba Femi started building momentum. The running uppercuts. The power displays. The explosive offense. For a moment, it felt like history might repeat itself. For a moment, it looked like Oba Femi was about to score another massive victory. Then reality hit. One more counter. One more F5. One final statement. And this time, Brock Lesnar got the job done. Now here's where things get really interesting. I don't think this match was simply about giving Lesnar revenge. I think WWE is setting up something much bigger. The company now has one victory for Oba Femi and one victory for Brock Lesnar. That scoreboard matters. Because when a rivalry sits at one win apiece, fans naturally start asking the same question. Who wins the trilogy? And honestly, that's exactly what WWE wants. From a business standpoint, a third match feels almost inevitable. The chemistry is there. The crowd interest is there. The stakes are there. Most importantly, the narrative is there. Neither man has definitively proven superiority. Yes, Lesnar won at Clash in Italy. But Oba Femi still owns the WrestleMania victory. Both competitors now have ammunition. Both competitors have claims. Both competitors have reasons to continue fighting. I've also got to talk about what this means for Oba Femi's future. Despite losing, I don't think his stock dropped at all. In fact, I would argue the opposite. Look at how WWE presented him. It took 6 F5s. It took a Kimura Lock. It took an announced table destruction. It took virtually everything Brock Lesnar had. That's not how you book someone you're giving up on. That's how you book someone you're investing in. Losses don't automatically hurt wrestlers. The context matters. And the context here made Oba Femi look like a future megastar. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar reminded everyone why he remains one of the most protected attractions in wrestling history. For years, fans have debated whether WWE should move on from Lesnar and focus entirely on younger talent. I understand that argument. But matches like this explain why WWE keeps bringing him back. Very few performers can create an aura like Brock Lesnar. Very few performers can walk into a building and instantly make a match feel important. Very few performers can lose at WrestleMania, disappear for months, return unexpectedly, and immediately become one of the biggest talking points in the industry. That's star power. And whether people love him or hate him, Lesnar still has it. What fascinates me most is the possibility that this feud isn't really about wins and losses. Maybe WWE is using Brock Lesnar as the final test for Oba Femi. Think about the legends who helped define previous generations. Many future stars needed multiple battles before finally overcoming their greatest rival. Perhaps that's the story being told here. Perhaps Oba Femi wasn't supposed to conquer Lesnar permanently at WrestleMania. Perhaps that victory was merely Chapter 1. Now Chapter 2 belongs to Lesnar. And Chapter 3 could determine the future. If WWE eventually books a decisive rubber match, the stakes could be enormous. A clean victory for Oba Femi would cement him as one of the company's top attractions for years to come. A clean victory for Lesnar would re-establish him as the undisputed alpha predator of WWE. Either outcome creates compelling television. That's why I think WWE struck gold with this rivalry. In an era where many feuds revolve around championships and authority figures, this one feels refreshingly simple. Two monsters. Two massive egos. One unanswered question. Who is truly the most dominant force in WWE? After Clash in Italy, we still don't have a definitive answer. What we do have is one of the most intriguing rivalries WWE has produced in recent memory. The crowd got their spectacle. The company got a blockbuster match. Brock Lesnar got redemption. Oba Femi gained credibility. And fans got a reason to demand another encounter. As far as I'm concerned, that's a win across the board. Now I want to hear from all of you. Did WWE make the right call by having Brock Lesnar even the score? Should Oba Femi have gone over again? And most importantly, if these two collide one more time, who walks away as the true monster of WWE? Drop your predictions in the comments, because after what we witnessed in Italy, this rivalry feels far from over, and something tells me the biggest chapter of the story hasn't happened yet.